Today we're going to be replacing the door cable for the rear door on the 10th gen F-150. Pull it. One of the latches gets released, but the other one does not. What tends to happen is within these doors, the cable is held together by a little plastic piece, and that plastic piece will break. And within this video, we will be replacing those plastic pieces in the door with some more sturdier metal pieces. Future me here. So these are all the tools I ended up using on this project. So first of all, you're going to need panel, pry, remover, bar. They look like this. Everything I got for this was in a kit on Amazon, which will be linked down below in the description. You'll also need a Phillips head bit for either a Phillips head screwdriver or a drill or an impact driver like this. If you have one of these, it makes the job a lot easier. Next, you're going to need a T25 bit as well. That is to actually remove the latches from the door themselves. You will need a 9mm socket, a 6mm socket, and that removes the speaker. And you will also need a 10mm socket. A hammer is nice just to get rid of some plastic pieces because they're so brittle. You'll see later. You'll need some pliers for sure. And this other stuff I used because I messed up while doing this and I had to make a quick repair. Now that we're on the inside, the first thing that we're going to do is remove these two screws right in here. They are Phillips heads. The next step involves getting your panel remover tool and going along this window and finding all the spots where the panel is held onto this door and go ahead and removing that panel. There's one clip right back and behind here. There's another clip right down in here. Just put it in there, pop it out, and then you can see where there's a gap being created right in here. Once I created that initial gap, the next panel clip is actually right in this spot, so I just kind of stuck my hand in that gap, pulled out. It looks like we have one more back over here, and it feels like we have two more on this side. So yeah, you can just kind of pull it off at that point, and now we have the first panel removed. The next step involves removing this bottom panel here, and on the far left you're going to be greeted with a 10mm nut, 2 Phillips head screws, and just a little panel clip. So you press, and you can see right in there, you can just press in the middle like that, and then get your little pliers here, and that'll pop right off. To finish up removing this bottom panel, first, check and see if you got anything in there. Well, all you're gonna do is just simply lift up, and the panel is ready to come out. And wow, there's a lot of trash behind there. Alright, the next step is to remove these two bolts right under here, and the size on that is 9mm. Following the removal of those two bolts, your handle will come off and this plastic piece will need to be taken off. Now we can move on to the speaker. The size on the bolts for the speaker is 6mm. Once those 4 bolts are removed from the speaker, you can simply pull it out like so, and then there is a connector back in here, and all you have to do is just disengage that and your speaker is out. Maybe slightly difficult to see, but the best way to remove this speaker from its harness is on the side here. Look for this little tab you can push with your thumb and the speaker will come right out. The next step is to very carefully remove the weather stripping. Remove this so we can have access to the latch mechanisms on the inside here. Alright, for the next step, we're going to go ahead and attempt to open up the door. So for the bottom latch, I just followed this cable down. Might be kind of hard to see, but you can kind of, there's a latch you can pull on down here. and opened up that part a little bit. And then for this next part, I grab some pliers and you just squeeze on the sides, push it through. Alright, so you can reach up in there and grab the cable going up top, pull on it. I'm gonna have to unlatch the bottom again. Trying to hold the camera at the same time. Okay, yep, there we go. Now the door is opening. Now we can continue the rest of the work standing instead of in the back seat. Alright, now the next step will be to remove these two little pins here with our removal tool. That one I believe is removed. Try and remove this one. Don't forget there are also 3 more on the back here to remove. They also may not want to come off fully, so if you want to just go ahead and get your pliers and up under there and rip them out. That's, if I'm not destroying this. There we go. Just like that. Grab your T25 bit and begin unscrewing this bolt, and this bolt. Once you have those removed, all you gotta do is pull out this cable assembly. Just make sure that your latch isn't caught up on anything down here, and all you have to do is just simply pull up, and now your cable assembly is fully out. For the bottom latch, you have 1, 2, and 3 more bolts to remove. And if you want to peel back this weather stripping, there's a clip you can just pull out. Alright, once you have removed that one clip for the weather stripping, the next thing is to go ahead and take the T25 dart to remove the screws holding in this bottom latch. Do not strip these. It'll be very hard to get out. Alright, now those are removed, you can go ahead and pull out your bottom latch. And this is going to be the problem right here, is what we're looking at. These plastic pieces will just shear off, and you're not able to create any sort of meaningful tension in the cable that will open up or release this door latch. So we're basically going to go in here, remove this plastic, and replace it with the metal right here. Similarly to the latch for the top of the door, you're going to want to go back behind this piece and pinch together this same plastic piece as before, and that should drop right out. Alright, for this next one, I lied. It's not that simple as just going back and pulling it out, so what I'm going to do is just sit here and unscrew this little latch mechanism here until we can get it out. Alright, so both of the door latches and cable assemblies are successfully removed. Now it is time to remove each one of these plastic pieces and replace them with all of our metal pieces. Since some of these are so brittle, the best way you can do this is just hammer them until they kind of come off like that, and you can use a box cutter knife or something to kind of shear the rest of them off. See, just like that. Alright, while removing these little plastic ends here, don't be an idiot like me and accidentally hammer this part, which breaks it. But I do have a solution if any of you end up doing that. So these two pieces just need to be able to hold together right here. So I have some of this floral wire I plan to wrap around and kind of twist. Alright, that ought to do the trick. Just wrapping it around like so. And now for the next part, we will get those metal pieces installed. And we'll start off with the first one, which doesn't look like the other ones. And that is this one that has a little notch up top. This particular one goes on to the latch that goes up top. What you do is you just feed the cable through like that. Might be able to use some pliers just to kind of grip onto it. Feed the cable in as much as you can, and then you simply just twist, and it's on. All right, very similar process for the other side, where you just kind of get this to slide on. It's gonna take a little bit of effort. Get it on there a little bit more. Here's another example. Thread this too. Push down. See how it's getting into the cable? Just gotta keep working it. And I actually have a vise set up over here that'll make it a lot easier. Alright, so what we're gonna do here, we have this vise set up right here. We're gonna go ahead and close it in. And this side right here, I'm just gonna keep pulling. And that will continue to thread this cable into this metal part. And typically it will stop whenever you can't go anymore. Let me go grab the other part. Again, you just slide it over this. And they are all set up in there. This one, for instance, will just simply slide on like that. And now it is ready for install. See how the little mechanism will actually be able to actuate it now. We'll go ahead and do now the reverse assembly process to reinstall the latches and test it out to see if it works. Go ahead and start feeding this cable back up. We have this little cable clip that goes right in here. Then, if you remember, this cable was kind of difficult to get out, but it will hook right back up in here. Boom. Alright, now the next thing you want to do is get this little metal piece to go around and hook in right in here. If you can see right there, you just gotta get this metal piece to just kind of hang out in there. And now your door should be functioning for the bottom. Let's test it out. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Bottom works. That was the one that was broken before. Alright, now for the top, all we do is just feed this wire back down in there, or the cable. And you're going to want to kind of twist it like that. Just go ahead and screw that in, and then screw the rest of them in and see if it works. Alright, now that you have all of this screwed in, you're just going to reach up, and there's a, sort of a panel back here that your cable will fall through. And you'll take that, and remember the first one, we're just gonna slide it right in here till it clicks. It's in. Now all you gotta do, just make sure that this metal part is connected up on a little lip over here. You're all set. Your door should be working properly. Now it works again. Both latches are fully engaged. Now all you need to do is just simply reinstall your weather stripping up here, your door panel, and your speaker. I'll leave it up to you to figure out how to do all of that. Leave a like if this helped. Take care.